Greetings, I'm Brett Beckton, Dean of the College of Business and Economic Development at the University of Southern Mississippi. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this special occasion, the introduction of the 2020 Boardman Young Alumnus of the Year, presented by the Business Advisory Council. In 2011, the College of Business and the BAC began honoring an outstanding Young Alumnus of the Year to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of graduates who are 40 years of age or younger. This year, it's my pleasure to announce Mr. Christopher Spence as the 2020 Boardman Young Alumnus of the Year. Mr. Spence originally entered the workforce as a network engineer, where he designed and constructed large client network and server systems for a major defense contractor at NASA. Within a couple of years, he was promoted to managerial roles and decided to further his education in business. After completing his MBA from Southern Miss, he co-founded 2 successful firms in the healthcare industry and then later solely founded a private consultancy, all over the course of a 10-year period. He later obtained a second graduate degree, this time from Harvard University, concentrating in finance. Chris performed contract executive and investment work with his firm until he was retained by Spartan Mosquito, where he currently serves as their Chief Executive Officer. Today, it's my honor to present Mr. Christopher Spence as the Boardman Young Alumnus of the Year for the College of Business and Economic Development at Southern Miss. At this time, I'd like to provide Chris with the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Beckton. I would also like to thank the Business Advisory Council and USM's College of Business and Economic Development for this distinguished honor. I must confess, it's a new experience to accept an award virtually. While working on this video, I was reminded that we need to get started in around February, and so I started to practice for it and was told the event would happen in April. Little did we know how much all of our lives would change just a matter of a few weeks later. The fact that portions of this event are still taking place is certainly impressive, but to know that USM has been strong enough and brave enough to endure all the hardships that are going on is nothing short of remarkable. After all, the tenacity of USM's administration, faculty, and staff, and even the student body to weather all of the social, the medical, the financial, and the educational challenges that have come out of this makes me proud to know that this was an institution that I was a part of. I was fortunate enough to begin my relationship with USM in the late 90s when the tech industry was rapidly expanding. And as a computer nerd, I was told by one of the advisor counselors that USM was starting this new program where you would be able to, as a 4-year degree student, work on the design of local area networks, wide area networks, and you could even practice for the CCNA exam because of USM's new partnership with Cisco Systems, in which they built this beautiful state-of-the-art lab in the Technology Center. And when I heard that a school here, local to me, was offering all this, I was sold and immediately enrolled. Toward the end of my sophomore year, some of my teachers told me that I need to start practicing for the career fair. And so I took their advice. I started going to every career fair that was available, and I noticed this strange phenomenon that began to happen. Not one, not two, but actually multiple booths. When they found out what program I was in, they were already talking about job offers. This was strange to me, considering I was only halfway through the curriculum. I thought, man, there's probably a misunderstanding, because after all, career fairs are designed for seniors. So I told them, you don't understand, I'm a sophomore, and I'm only halfway through the curriculum. And much to my surprise, they still extended me a job offer, asking me to quit school early. I was bewildered by this, and I said, why? Why would you want me to actually come work for you now? And multiple booths told me the same thing. They said, Chris, we're getting such high quality students from this new program at USM, we're trying to hire everyone we can, even ones that aren't complete, such as yourself. At that moment, I realized that I was truly at a special place. So in the late 2000s, I was told that I had an opportunity to be able to work and pursue graduate studies at the same time. And immediately, because of the experience I had in my undergrad, I thought USM could probably help me in the business arena as well. So I enrolled for my MBA. And sure enough, I learned an extremely important second lesson from USM. Sure, as a computer nerd, we may be able to create new technologies. We may be able to make new products. But the business school at USM was very quick to point out that making the product is only part of it. You have to be able to make it profitable in order to be sustainable. One of my teachers in particular routinely reminded me that, quote, you have an ethical obligation to stay open. And that's true, because at the end of the day, we may build new things, but what good does it do for society if society never actually gets to take advantage of them? And so I'm reminded of those words 20 years later, roughly, that USM once again is practicing what it is preaching, because it has maintained its ethical obligation to stay open and to be able to brave all of the social, economic, and various hardships that not only our faculty, staff, and administration has had, but especially our student body has had. It makes me proud to know that USM continues to move forward and do the things that it needs to do for all of us. All the more reason why I know that University of Southern Mississippi is truly a special place. Dr. Beck, and as I close, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this award. I am humbled by it. And thank you so much for giving me this wonderful platform to be able to share what USM has meant to me.